Diet is massively important to especially someone like Lee. We're trying to keep weight on Lee, and we are fortunate to have a really good nutritionist here who works with the chef, plans their meals, and the most important thing for a player like Lee, who's covering great distances, is to fuel in and around his sessions. So after a session, you just seen he's had a protein shake there, which will have protein and carbs in. So the carbs will replace his glycogen stores for his energy, and his protein will help rebuild and increase his muscle.
My weight's always been a struggle. I'm quite a slender, light guy, and I struggle to put weight on. I think that's the fact that I do so much running and I enjoy being outside. So getting my weight on is important because the way that rugby's changed, you have to be robust, you have to be a bit bigger because the tackles are getting harder, the people you're against are getting bigger. You know, I've worked hard on it and I'm up there, and it's starting to stay where I want it to be now, but I've got to keep on eating and make sure I eat a lot more than I do.
Emma, our nutritionist, she sits down with the lads quite often, and they'll go through their nutrition plan. So they'll often write a 5-day food diary of what they've taken, and Emma can work out from there if they're getting the right amount of carbs for their individual needs, so proteins, so on and so forth. It's imperative that they keep on top of keep intaking food, especially around sessions. So we try and encourage the lads to eat almost every 2 hours. Especially when they're here, we can keep an eye on that. So they'll have breakfast and lunch, as we mentioned, and then if it's a longer day, we have refuel, like you've seen Lee in protein bar and his shake. They'll all have shakes after both weights and on-feet training, because Lee can cover 5K in a training session, for example, and with the muscle mass and everything, he needs to replace the lost fuel that he's using out there.
Ideally, an ideal day for me would probably be wake up in the morning, some cereal. I think when we're away, sometimes when we go away with Northampton, we have like steamed chicken and even vegetables for breakfast, which is always good. I don't mind it every so often. Egg in the morning is always good for you. Then you should snack between sessions. So we have like recoveries bars, we have protein shakes, we have nuts on a fruit. That's always around to have. Big meal during lunch, so from your pastas to we always have a selection of meats, so maybe a chicken, and we have cold meats as well. Then another snack in between from session and going home, and then as you're getting closer to the game, you're having your pastas, the carb load to get the energy.
Hydration's key part of our sport, because if the muscles are dehydrated, they're not able to function as we want them to, as good as they can. So we weigh the guys pre and post match. And then that difference in body weight equates to water loss. So for every kilo of body weight that they lose, we encourage them to drink 1.5 litres. So someone like Lee, I think, probably loses about 1 kilo during a game, maybe a little bit more sometimes. We have electrolytes in our drinks before the game and at half time. So they have their bespoke individual drinks based on their individual sweat needs. So it's quite scientific.
I have 2 favourite meals. I have a favourite meal that I should be eating, that is rugby related. I always like quite a nice big sirloin steak with roasted vegetables and a bit of couscous. It's one of my favourite ones. And then out of rugby, like maybe a day after we've played, things like that, I do like a nice big Chinesey, which, you know, Emma sometimes allows us to have after a game because we've ran quite a lot, we've burnt off a lot of energy in the game, so it's always nice to have a little cheat day.
No such thing as a cheat day.